And you recently published a tweet that said a large part of being successful at a large company is basically just project management. Can you go from point A to point B and anticipate the roadblocks before you hit them? And so that, I think, is a great segue into getting things done in the enterprise world. And so what is the key to get things done in the enterprise world?
Yeah, this is a very timely topic. It's top of mind. So next week, I have an article called Enterprise SEO Don't Outsmart, Out Execute, publishing on conversionxl.com. And it's really just going into that. And so I kind of I focus on a couple areas there. Like, one is building systems that repeat, and I kind of call that scale, right? So working with your engineering team to build templates that marketers can use 100 times over again, as opposed to making 100 tickets for your engineers. So kind of like that, a page template's a really easy way to talk about that. Another way to think about creating scale to free up your engineers to build things that you can't, and let the SEO team and the marketers build things that they can, is unblocking technical SEO tasks. So one of the cool things, and I go way more depth in this article, but we created an admin panel that allows the SEOs to go upload redirects to our servers, where it actually APIs out of a Google Sheet. So we modify a Google Sheet, click refresh, it pulls it in, it syncs it, it checks for errors, and it publishes it into a section of our htaccess file. And so if you can imagine, we have 10,000 pages on our site. I can only imagine what G2 has, but a lot of redirects pop up, man. A lot of redirects pop up. And do you know what's not fun for an engineer? Putting it in a redirect line, that is not exciting work. And they're going to drag their feet, and they're going to complain about it, and they're going to hate you if once a week they have to put in your redirects. Plus you have sprint cycles. So, our sprint cycles are a week. If I need redirects put in, I got to wait at least a week. If now that I manage the sprint queue, it's a little different. I can move things around, but the average SEO doesn't do that. And so if you find a bad error, somebody broke a page, you don't want to wait a week for that to fix. I want to be able to jump in and do it right now. Or for example, our CEO was on national television and said, go to Qualtrics / this vanity URL that didn't exist. And I was watching his TV, I was watching him on TV, because it was a big response that we had rolling out a bunch of free software solutions to help companies through COVID. And so it was go to / here to help. And, I'm literally watching him on TV adding redirects and every variation of this, here to help with spaces, without spaces, things like that, to try to catch people as they came in. And that was enabled because we made a system that did that. And so our AC access files, or our robots.txt file is the same way. Our hreflang sitemaps are the same way. And so we had them, it was a better part of a week for that person, but that engineer built that 2 years ago and has never had to touch it again. And we update our hreflang sitemaps once a week. And so, we saved 100 tickets by him investing in that one time, and our results are better because we're able to move faster. So that's kind of one of the areas is build systems that enable people to scale and move faster. And then the other one is a little more high level, is being the project manager and taking ownership. And so this goes back to not being afraid to get in the weeds. When you're going to ultimately need something from another team, whether it's an engineering team, a creative team, a content writing team, or a product marketing team, if you need them to work on positioning, take it as far as you can. So for example, one of a hard things, because this team is really busy, is getting content out of our product marketing teams, product content. So we're talking new product, tier 1 product page, and they're super busy because they're helping sales, they're helping customer success, they're helping develop new products. They have very busy jobs, and maybe copywriting isn't the easiest thing for them. So it's not going to be super quick. They can't just knock it out. And so making it as easy as possible by setting expectation of this is what I need you to do. This is why we're doing it. This is when I need you to do it. Typical project management stuff. And then the next thing is having a really prepared a brief that's prepared really well for them. So it's like a structured Google Doc that's like, this is your headline, and it's a table, like headline goes here, intro copy goes here, product shot one goes here, and kind of like creating that copy doc template for them. And then also like a little bit of a brief at top, like this page is going to live here. Its purpose is this. Its audience is this. Here's the common keywords. Here are 3 examples of other SaaS and I'm in the SaaS companies, the SaaS world, so I'm going to use a lot of SaaS examples. But like, here are 3 other product feature pages that I really like that you can use for inspiration. And so once again, like we took it as far as we could, as opposed to just emailing them and saying like, hey, I need copy for a new page. And then they're just like, how much copy? What kind of copy? What's the positioning? Is this salesy? Is this top of the funnel? Is this informational? Like, what kind of content am I creating here? So taking it as far as you can and doing that every step along the way. And kind of like, you did that with product marketing. Now you do that with your copywriters. Now you do that with your creatives. Now you do that with your developers. And all of a sudden, like, you reduced a lot of work for them. And therefore, one, you develop good relationships because like, oh, when Jared sends me projects, they're ready to go. I don't have to ask a lot of questions. I just jump in. I can focus, move on to the next thing. And so like doing is like really taking ownership of like, this is going to get done. I'm going to see this getting done. I'm going to badger somebody if they're not doing their part. And then it's like your typical project management. And like, depending on your company, like some companies don't believe in project managers. And so that means everybody's kind of a project manager. And I find like the projects that fail is when, somebody puts together a Google Doc, says like, this is what I want to build, meets with us in a meeting,